Hi, Adam.
Hello, Rav.
Good.
Hello,
Good afternoon
Salaha.
to you.
Hopefully I got that right.
Yeah.
Because you
Magand-
didn't teach me any Tagalog last week. So
yeah, I
I
forgot.
decided to do it myself.
So now here
So,
it's a beautiful Sunday. It's our seventh
seventh
live
episode,
stream.
yes.
Yeah, so for PinoyChap.
So
So
thank you,
here,
everybody, for joining us.
yeah. So yes, please don't forget to like and
Like,
subscribe in our YouTube channel, and like and subscribe and share your videos. So today's episode is gonna be great because joining us today will be maybe later. Let's ask Adam first.
well,
What's this
no,
up to?
no, don't worry. It's all good.
Yeah.
My week's been pretty good. The thing I was talking about last week that I said I couldn't
Yes.
mention until now, it was
Yes.
to
Yeah.
do with BIFA, the British Independent Film Awards. They've now officially announced the films that have
Mm-hmm.
made it to the official selection,
Mm-hmm.
including a Filipino film called
Nice.
Filipinana. If I'm
Mm.
just double checking his name, just so I can pronounce it correctly. Directed by a Rafael Manuel. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong, but anyway, basically, it's about a girl who works as a caddy.
Okay.
It's sort of like a coming of age sort of drama, but it's quite good. I mean, I've sent you the link to the trailer, but
Yes.
there's some good. I forget the actual location.
Mm.
I should have done my research before coming on the air, just to remind
Yeah.
myself. But never mind. But there's some great location footage of a golf court,
Mm.
and there's like a karaoke scene near the end where it's really good purple fluorescent lighting and things like that.
Mm.
I'm not doing it justice, but I really enjoyed it, and I did vote for it, and it was quite high. It was actually number one on the voting list, so a lot of people voted for it, so it's done
So
quite well.
is this it?
It is,
Filipino.
yes.
This is the trailer. So yeah, I'm very happy that one of Filipino films is being chosen a selection for this
Selection, yeah.
what do you call this film festival.
Yeah,
So
it's one of the like I said, it's got things like the BFI, which is quite a prestigious company in the UK. So it's like they're the ones that help with funding for British independent films, but they're quite keen on diversity and things like that. So the idea of a Filipino representation, they obviously lapped it up, so they were helping fund it. So but no, like I said, I'm not doing it justice really, but I need to, because I'm currently doing the next round, you know, to get to like the final five, and I have voted for it again, so because I would recommend it. And there was another one which was an animation which I really enjoyed, which is called Meow or Never, which is the one
Meow or Never.
out of the ones that I voted for. This was number. It was actually, it was number one. I'm just reminding myself the order. It was number one. I'm going to vote for it again. It's basically it's like a space opera musical about a space cat who's traveling the universe searching for the meaning of life.
Nice. Is this it? Meow or Never?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a stop motion or?
It is, yes.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
But the funny thing is, when we were going through our last meeting, we had the top 10 that would definitely go into the official selection, but they did say if there are any other movies that you feel deserves a place, talk about it now. And Meow and Never wasn't in the top 10. It was like number 13. So I raised a case for it. I pleaded a case saying I think this deserves to go in because there are no other animated films on your list, and they agreed it's not really fair to have live action and animation in the same category because they're two completely different things and a lot more. I mean, in theory, it's easier to make a live action film than it is animation. I mean, making a film is hard anyway, but still, animation has its own set of problems, really. And also, I felt that the theme of it is basically finding friendship, and that's a universal thing. That's something that's also timeless as well. I said the themes in this film will never get dated. Some of the other films, which are, you know, politically driven or, you know, identity politics, etc., they are current. So chances are in the future they may not be they'll be dated. Whereas
Yes.
this, you could look at this 50 years from now, and the message is still just as important as it is now, or as it
True.
was 50 years ago. So they
Yes.
agreed with me, and it got through thanks to me. I was
It's
proud of
time.
it. It was very
Yeah.
good. I highly recommend it.
It's timeless. It's like
Yeah,
what you call this, a Christmas Carol. So
yeah,
it was made long before, but until now it's being remade and remade and remade. So the story is timeless. Yeah.
constantly. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of animation and Christmas, you want to talk about a Filipino animated film?
Yes, I was going to, especially uh, our guest today is from UK also. So, like same as you,
Yeah,
we, it was trending since 2 weeks ago because
yeah.
it's the first time for us in Filipino represented being represented in the world. It was made by Disney. So let me share it. It's called From Our Family to Yours. So yeah, it's very very. We're very
Heartwarming.
proud of it. Yeah, it's powerful also, and it shows us it shows our roots and it shows our tradition like this it's a to pay respect to the elders.
Right.
We called it mano. You get the hands of the elder and put it in your forehead.
Oh,
So yeah, it's so powerful actually, and it made me cry when I saw it first.
right.
So yeah, and the good thing about this is the director of this film is also a Filipina. So she's I think third generation immigrant. So
Okay.
her grandmother is the one who came from here in the Philippines, and his her mother. I think her mother is this character, the kid here.
Okay.
So
Right.
yeah, so when he was growing up, she was growing up in tradition. In the Philippines, we have this tradition, and we call it parol, the stars.
Right.
So we put it in our windows to signify, oh, it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so powerful, and it was trending actually.
Mm.
And so yeah, I like to share it too. So yeah, it's interesting facts about this viral video. Yeah. It's
No, it was quite good. I mean, I love animation, all forms of, as I've talked about in the past. I love all kinds of animation.
yeah,
So if you want me to watch anything, if it's animation, I'll definitely be keen to
yes,
watch it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. But no, this
yeah,
was very good.
yes. So yeah, it's a powerful film. We are happy that we are now being represented in the whole world because we feel that because Filipinos is around the world. I
Yeah.
always tell you this, Adam. Even though in Africa,
I don't,
there's
don't doubt
Filipino
it.
in Africa,
Yeah.
anywhere. So there's a lot of Filipino. So yeah,
Including the UK as our guest
yes,
will be the case.
especially our guest for tonight is or in the afternoon in your
Or in the
case.
afternoon for us, yeah. For me and George, yeah.
Yeah, so without further ado, he's a Filipino nurse and he's a vlogger also, and he's a member of an association in the UK, Filipino Nurses Association in UK. So yeah, without further ado, let's
Let's welcome
welcome
him in. Let's welcome him in.
George Bermudez. There you go.
Hello,
Hello,
George.
Hi,
good afternoon
George.
and good evening
Good evening.
to the peeps in the Philippines, mga kabayan.
Yeah.
Hello.
So
Welcome
you're
to
ready
PinoyChap.
for. No, you finish.
Let's go. I'm just going to welcome him in PinoyChap.
I was just saying that you're ready for Christmas already.
Oh yeah, well, in the Philippines we start Christmas on the what we call the Burr months.
Very
Once
Yeah.
much.
September comes in, that's
Yes.
Christmas.
Whereas
Obviously,
in the
2020.
UK, it's obviously it's usually in like supermarkets where we get like Christmas decorations around that time, around September, October. But I don't have my Christmas decorations up yet.
Yes.
Too lazy.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, that's true. But I see because probably of the lockdown, some of my neighbors
Right.
have started decorating their, their houses. So
earlier.
yeah, it's starting to be a little contest around the street.
Yeah.
Too many lights, actually. It's getting a bit too bright.
So yeah, there's a greeting for you, Sir
Oh,
George.
thank you.
Hi,
I'm
Manong Joe.
Hi,
It's my
Raquel. Yeah, I know it's your mom. Yeah.
yeah, it's my mom. It's nice to see you in this Koyo show. So
Nice to hear
yeah.
from you po. Yeah.
So yeah, the good thing about this, Adam, to give you a background, I met George through my mother because
Right.
George was doing a seminar, a talk. He was in what do you call this in my mother's association. So they're talking about nurses going to the UK. We will discuss everything later, I
Yeah.
think, George. Yeah.
But you have a connection
Mm.
through your mother. But you also told me earlier, Rav, that you both went to the same school and
Yes,
university.
yes, that's a funny thing. And when I was talking to George, and he told me, yeah, we went to the same high school. I said, what, really? I was surprised and I was happy. And then he said, I went also to the same university. He said, "What?" So
Yeah.
we connect. Instantly, we connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was quite surprised too, because how a little background on how it happened, because her mom, his mom, Miss Raquel, was telling me, "Oh, my son would be contacting you for his show." I said, "No problem, we could do that." And so obviously, when Rav sent me a message, what would people do when somebody messages you on Facebook? You stalk them, you look at them. Who's this guy? And then I saw, oh right, he's from UST. I'm from UST. Okay, he studied in Don Bosco High School. What? It's just like, how come I've never met this guy before? But anyway, that's how it
Yeah.
just went on. And then, yeah, we instantly connected. That was great.
It's
Yes.
similar with me and Rav. We went to the same university, but when Rav joined, I had already left. So only by we're like a month apart, basically.
Oh,
I'd
yes.
gone the month before he turned up.
There
Yes.
you go.
But thanks to the internet, we've met up technically.
Yes.
Right. So, yeah. Oh,
I
I'm
know.
liking this because I looked into your content. It's all about film, and it's great. It's a refreshing take on.
Mm.
Uh, it's not a lot of people talk about it. I guess right now cinemas are struggling a bit. I suppose. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
Cinema's
think
possibly dying as well.
exactly. But I guess in the near future it'll be quite nostalgic to think that you could actually go to somewhere, enjoy a
Exactly.
night out, that you don't have to fiddle on your phone. Because that's, I think, the
Mm.
with I'm not putting down Netflix, because they obviously still helps, but when you cannot pause something, I think there's power into that, because you have to put your attention to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I
think
agree with that.
that's the difference, I guess.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And me also, I do prefer watching it in the experience in watching it in the theater and watching it the big screen and everything. The sound is it's so like the sound is you're like in there.
Engrossed, yes.
Gross. Yes.
Exactly.
It's even better if there's not many people in the audience as well, because I try to avoid, massive gatherings in cinemas. I usually go to the cinema like in the early afternoons where there's hardly anybody
There's
there. It's great.
Me, I usually like to go last full show. We have here in the
Yeah.
Philippines last full show, so it's gonna be usually jam packed, and also
Yeah.
where you sing the national anthem before the movie starts.
Yeah, that's a bit funny, because
Right.
yeah, there you go. Adam's
I
just
didn't
saying
know
it
that.
now. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no, there's no, you would not hear "God Save the Queen" on every film here.
And
No, you wouldn't.
And if we did, I wouldn't be singing it because I don't like singing. I'm not that patriotic.
And the funniest thing here, here's another trivia for you, Adam. Do you know you can get arrested in the Philippines if you did
If
not
you're not,
stand up once
yes,
that's
true.
played and you
Mhm.
kept sat on your seat on the cinema?
Yes, yes, that's true.
If
I would
you
happily
can be
stand up
reported.
as long as I don't
Yeah,
sing. Yeah.
but I mean that's the thing. That's just how
Yeah.
strict they are with that thing.
Ah.
So yeah.
Yes,
All right.
very
Cool.
strict. So
Hmm.
yeah, you need to stand up, and you will stand in attention. You don't
Yeah.
need to doing like anything because they're gonna arrest you,
Yeah.
and it's a hefty fine also, and you have a jail time in it. So it's crazy, but I love it because I miss it
Yeah.
when I was in the US. It's not like that. So
No.
the first show is there's a the first showing there's a national anthem. The last full show has a national anthem. So
Oh
you
yeah, in
need
the
to do it.
Philippines. Yeah. Yeah. I-
Yeah.
So we're gonna kill a cinema in the Philippines because we're trying to scare people away and tell them, "Hey, you're gonna get arrested if you watch a film in the Philippines." But no, no, actually, but yeah, it's still for me, it's a great experience. Cinema has always been a great experience.
Yes.
Especially I'm an immigrant here in the foreign country. I didn't
Mm,
have my wife then, my family. Cinema can be a good way for me to unwind.
Mm.
This is
true.
harking back to 10 years ago when I haven't even heard of YouTube then, you know.
Mm,
So you keep a bit of your money to make sure that you enjoyed the cinema, and you feel shortchanged if you didn't like that film. So you're like, Ugh.
Yeah.
But the great thing with here in the UK, I remember there's the membership. Cineworld is gone now, right? But there
I
used to
think I'm not
be,
sure.
yeah, I think they're going under. But
Mm.
they used to have like you pay a monthly membership fee and you
Yeah.
can watch unlimited films, and that
Exactly.
was a
Yeah.
really?
lifesaver. Yes, that was a lifesaver for me because
Oh,
I circa 2009 to maybe 2012, I was in the cinema every week, and I would watch anything under the sun. Yeah,
wow.
so it's great. It's great.
So yeah,
Something.
I hope we have that here in the Philippines. but
Uh,
but before in the Philippines, you can just pay one ticket if you. This was in the 90s, I think, in the 80s. Just pay one ticket and you can stay there and the whole day
I know you can
Yeah.
do
watching.
It used to be like that in the UK as
Yeah.
well, but much longer ago, like the 50s, 60s, possibly 70s. I've never
Yeah,
experienced it myself, so I think it was gone by the time I was born.
yeah, I experienced it and then when I was young, and we
All
were
right.
I watched from 9 a.m. until around 8 p.m. and my eyes were so strained after that. It's so crazy. I remember it's a Star Wars, the episode one. I think the episode one. So
Right.
yeah, it's so crazy. Oh, before that, there's a shout out for us. This is Rachel Faignalo. So hi Rachel. So
Hello, Rachel.
she has also uh, a gaming stream. She has a gaming streaming. So she always watching our show also.
Oh, cool.
So
What
hi
kind of
Rachel.
games? Out of curiosity.
Call of Duty Mobile. Yeah.
Ah, never
Yeah.
played it.
Very violent.
I'm used to violent games like Doom, so
Yeah.
but that's really old though.
Yes. So yeah, George, can you give us a background of you? I know you studied in UST, so yes,
Yes.
tell
So,
us.
yeah, a little background about me. Again, my name is George Bermudez. I've been here in the UK for about um, more than 10 years now. I stopped counting
Wow.
after 10. But yeah, I didn't really actually study to become a nurse initially. I graduated in UST with a degree in microbiology actually. So
Oh.
I had a microbiology degree. I was looking to study medicine, but didn't really quite work out. So I ended up doing nursing, which was then, if Adams, I'll just sort of give you a little background of nursing in the Philippines.
All right.
Adam, the Philippines is the biggest exporter of nurses in the world. In 2009, there was a study that said that we exported 25% of the world's nurses.
Mm.
So if you go to the
Right.
US now, the present number I think 14%. Is it 14%? Yes, 14% of the nursing workforce. I might be wrong with that number, but a big chunk of the nursing workforce of the U.S. are actually of Filipino heritage, Filipinos.
Mm.
Here in
Okay.
the UK, the latest numbers from the National Audit Office, the NAO, which was on February, in the NHS, the Philippines is the biggest source of overseas workforce in the
Right.
NHS. So I know it circulated during the time of COVID that during the first wave that there's just about 20,000 Filipino nurses in the UK. That's actually wrong. It's double the number. In the NHS alone, there's 40,000. And I tell you now, since 2017, a high-ranking NHS officer told me that since 2017, there's at least 50 nurses coming into the UK from the Philippines every week. So
Wow.
just imagine that. Yeah,
Yes.
it's quite a lot, right?
It's quite a
Hell
lot.
of a lot.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. But
Yeah.
that's beyond me now. But going
Mm.
back to me, sorry. So what I do? I've been a nurse for the NHS for a while. I've tried as well the NHS is the public sector. I've worked as
Mm.
well in the private sector, and I'm currently I'm in a non-conventional nursing background. What I do is I work for an insurance company actually, but I'm still a nurse for them.
Mhm.
But with that, I get a bit more time to spend with, doing something else, and that is giving back to my community of Filipino nurses. So, me and my friends and my colleagues, we founded a community. It's called the Filipino www.filipinouknurse.com.
Mhm.
We do articles weekly, and we've got a lot of information that would be helpful to a lot of Filipino nurses. And aside from vlogging, we connect with other associations like Filipino Unite, which is a nonprofit group aimed to help Filipinos here in the UK, and we've also helped restart and revive Philippine Nurses Association of United Kingdom. This is more for a professional body to assist and help
Mm.
and give service to Filipino nurses here in the UK.
Oh, no. You,
Wow.
you're
Yeah,
doing a
quite a
lot
lot.
of things.
That
Yeah,
is
quite a lot.
Yes.
overwhelming.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to.
No, don't worry. It's fine.
We were just on cinemas and then it went to nursing.
Yeah.
We'll steam
No,
ahead.
just
So sorry.
the amount of workload that you must be doing is like
Yeah.
hectic.
So
Yes,
yeah.
it is quite indeed. But
Mm.
I enjoy it, and I mean, I'm quite privileged in a way that I'm in now in this platform that I could give back. Because
Yeah.
when we started back then, there was no such thing.
Mhm.
You couldn't find, you might find the odd. Well, you might find Filipinos who in the workplace, but there's no real help that you can find
Mm.
if you need it. And
Mhm.
I've met a lot of Filipinos who may have suffered from different things like maybe bullying at work or maybe even
Mhm.
depression, homesickness. I'm not saying
Mhm.
I would be able to help them, rectify or cure them with those things, but at least they know there's somebody there to help, and that's us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's good.
So so yeah, you're doing a lot of things there, George. So how did you start
Mm.
uh, giving back to the community?
All right, so it's quite an interesting story. I think, like every Filipino, we like food, right? So
Yes, yes.
this whole project started out with a dinner at Nando's, actually. So if anybody from Nando's would be listening, uh, you know, we need sponsors here, PinoyChap and us as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, but anyway, so we were sitting down at Nando's. It's a group of
Mm,
friends thinking,
mm,
what do we do now? We're coming on to our 10th year here in the UK. We know
mm,
there's a lot of Filipinos coming in. What can we do? And yeah, we saw the power of social media. We
mm,
we had a good sit down. Yeah, you're looking at my my channel there, but um, when we started out our very first vlog, I remember it's just for like 20 minutes, but it took us 8 hours to film because we're newbies. You give us we're nurses, you know.
Yes,
Most of us were
yes.
nurses. You give us you show us blood, you show us a person's insides, you show us needles. You know, we don't squirm. We can do anything, but you give us technology like this. We were what? Uh, I'll tell you. My first lighting is not even this. It was worse than this. I'm just using this now for a bit of light. My first
Mhm.
lighting was the cheapest IKEA 20-pound standing lamp.
Yeah.
And what's inside is not actually a proper bulb. That bulb is used to help plants grow. It was
Okay.
like that's what I had, and we, that's what we did. And fast forward a year and 4 or 5 months now, we've reached a lot. And from
Mm,
a following of nothing, we've got 4,000 in, nearly 5,000 in YouTube. We have a community
mm,
of nearly 8,000 in Facebook. We have a website with hits of about 4 to 5,000 monthly. So yeah, we're doing
mm,
quite well in that regard. So we create
yeah.
something of a real community out of nothing.
Mm,
And if I can just add, I'm really, really happy now. When we
mm,
started, there were very few Filipino associations that was on the mainstream. Now
mm,
there's PNA UK, there's
mm,
Filipino Nurses UK. There's other nursing associations sprouting out. Some
mm.
people would say, "Are you not? Are you? Is that a bit too much for you? You've got multiple associations." I always just say it's like every household in the Philippines. Every household has their own adobo. So you
Yes.
pick your own. Simple as that.
Yes.
So not a
Uh,
problem. I'm happy with that.
yes.
No, the
Adobo
more the
for
merrier. Yeah.
Adam. Adobo is Filipino food, Adam.
It's the national food for the Philippines.
I
It's
think I think you told me rather. It sounds
Yes.
familiar. But,
Yeah, yeah. There's a chicken adobo, there's a pork adobo, there's a lot of adobos.
I probably had some when I was in the
oh,
Philippines. It's
definitely,
been it's
definitely.
been about 4 years. I've already forgotten. I'm
Yeah.
afraid. Got a terrible memory.
Uh, drop me a message, Adam. Once the lockdown is out, I can point you towards. If you're in the London area, I know the best places to eat.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you want Filipino food.
yeah,
Uh,
sounds good.
Jollibee, Jollibee's good, but they're not authentic.
No.
They're fried chicken basically. Everybody has fried chicken.
Yeah.
Well, I travel down to London quite often, but obviously
Mhm.
not right now. But yeah, I'll let you know when I'm down there. Yes, certainly.
Yeah. So wow. This is your vlog, right, Sir
Yes,
George? It's called Manong George.
yes,
So
Madam George.
so do
Oh,
you
it's asking our questions.
oh, oh,
Helping us
sorry.
out.
Uh,
It saves us from asking. We just watch the
yes.
video and just answer the questions.
No.
What was you saying, Rav?
So yeah, your content. How do you make your content since you're working as a nurse? Also,
All right.
is it tough for you to do that?
Yes. Well, although the vlog itself is Manong George, I can never take sole credit for it. I'm not
Mm,
a single person vlogging. We are a team. Okay.
mm,
Remember, the vlogging is part of what we do because we are in. I'd say we are more into community building. So the
mm,
vlogging is part of that. So I have not a big team, but I have a
mm,
team who helps me do this. The good thing with us, since we're here already for about 10 years in the UK, we've progressed from the being the super frontliners, so we've
mm,
got a bit more time now, right? Like for
mm,
me, I do nursing for insurance, so I operate only on office hours. Of here and
mm,
there, I need to do some weekends, so that gives me the time. Some people might like to do their PlayStation or Xbox or watch their
mm.
Netflix. I do
Yes,
this in my free time. That's just to make things work. That's what it is. Because
yes,
that's the truth of it. I guess with regards to vlogging,
yes.
the uh, the the key there is the consistency. What can you
Mm,
put out weekly, week in, week out? Because if
Yeah,
you
yes.
can't be consistent, then you will lose the following. That's just how it is.
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly true. That's true. Yes. So yeah. Also, like what we're doing, Pinoy Chap. before we were thinking, Adam and I were thinking how to collaborate with each other since he's in UK, I'm here in the Philippines. So technology gave us an answer to
Yeah.
connect, and also I want to. We want to share the stories, so filmmakers and Filipinos as well. So through this medium, so it's very nice for you, Sir George, that you're doing it to help our community, our kababayans. Adam, for there's a new word for you. Kababayan means when you are we call it each other in the Filipino community. If you are outside of the Philippines, we call each other kababayan. Hey, kababayan. Like when I
So
was in the US,
come
kababayan.
by. It's kind of
Ah,
like it sounds like the equivalent of expat, like
Hmm.
expatriate. I
yes,
assume it's that.
yes,
Okay. So
yes.
come a buyer,
Kab kababayan.
kababayan.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
All
it.
right,
You're correct.
kababayan. Mastered it
Yeah.
already.
Yes,
So
because bayan is actually the root word
the root word
bayan is town. So
town.
when you said
Right,
kababayan, it's like
out of town.
a townmate. Yeah, townmate.
Yeah,
Okay, right.
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we are just happy. That's why I really want to guess you in our show. So
Oh,
what you're
thank you.
doing is very admirable, and I know it's very tough right now in our situation. So for us, it's really tough, and
Mm.
you are also one of the frontliner, and we'd like to thank you for your
Noble
service.
act, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not just to I don't do the front lines anymore. I take my hat off to them. They are the heroes. I'm just there in the background, so I'm just doing
Yes.
whatever I can. So it's not nothing
Modest.
with me. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, really nothing because I work for insurance. So
Yeah.
not anymore. So for me, to me, um, anything that I can do to help um, a kababayan is
Yes.
something that gives us joy,
Right.
gives us meaning. So that's where we are really. So thank you.
Mm, nice.
That's good. Very noble.
Yes, very very noble it is. Yeah. What do you call this? Other than YouTube, what else is your medium to connect with our kababayans in the UK?
Right. So yeah, we've got the vlogs in YouTube, but we, as I mentioned earlier, we've created a community in Facebook. So it's we have a Facebook group called Filipino UK Nurses, and this is quite a very active community. Wherein perfect example is the recent typhoons that bombarded the Philippines. You
Yes.
would see multiple drives there that is community generated. So we give them a platform. We also have other needs of Filipino nurses that we can cater to. Like let's say, um, a very good example would be money remittances, because that's a big part of Filipino culture abroad. Almost
Yes.
everybody is sending money back home.
Mm.
I guess even you, Rav, could relate to that when you were in San Francisco, one way or the other.
Yes.
Mm.
You sent
Yes.
money, so those are little things, and yeah, we start conversations there, and from there, we can pick up part of the people in the community who might have an interesting story to tell that we could actually feature in either our vlog, as
Mm,
we have a portion called Dear Manong, wherein may have written their story and we read them back to the
mm,
audience,
mm,
or maybe if they want it to be a bit more, what I might say is a bit more, they like more of the writing bit and they want to express themselves. We've got our
mm,
website. We got weekly articles that we publish there, articles as well. So that's
mm.
how we engage with them. We had a we also have a bit on Instagram and Twitter, but we're not really that active there. It's just because
Okay.
most of
Mm.
our I would say stakeholders and our community members are in Facebook and would be easily seeing YouTube and the website instead.
So yeah, nice.
So
Yeah.
obviously you can't do anything right now because of the lockdown, etc.
Oh,
But do you have any plans to like get all the Filipinos together for like any
Ah,
events or something, social events
that's a
in the future?
funny. Yeah, well, actually, there was. We've actually done that with
Yeah.
at least at the Philippine Nurses Association of United Kingdom. So we did an online event,
Mhm.
and this was not just a mere online event where everybody comes in and zoom in and out.
Mm.
We had a similar sort of stream, but this was done in Zoom,
Mhm.
and this was they get CPD points for this. So CPD points is something we needed for nurses to revalidate our license every 3 years. So this was in
Mhm.
partnership with RCN and other groups, and we managed to do it's quite an extensive day. Actually, it was for 5 hours. We had
Mhm.
different speakers, and we had 540 people who logged in,
Mhm.
and we also had 540 and about probably around 30 to 40 countries from different, you know, and yeah, and it was a great event. So we've done that, but now the challenge is, you're correct, Adam, the challenge is getting that physical
Yeah.
connections. I
Yeah.
think
Connection.
obviously right now it's going to be hard,
Mm.
especially if you say all Filipino nurses come to this event on this day. So who would be left in the NHS?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a very big question,
Mm.
right? So,
Yes.
but I think this is, but we at least in the PNA UK is very, very excited and looking forward that this, can happen. We
Mm.
see some news now that some vaccines are coming out. I think
Yeah.
there is a trial vaccine that is being randomly rolled out now for people of the UK. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, 2021 might be a better year, and hopefully
Yes.
2021 would be a year because actually, if you guys don't know, 2020 is the year of the nurses and midwives. It's 150
Oh.
years since Florence
Ah,
Nightingale said that.
didn't know that.
So this
Oh.
is actually the year, but it turned out to be year of COVID. But I always just say,
Mm.
why can't we make 2020 the year of the Filipino nurses too? And so the WHO said, we're extending it to 2021. So hopefully
Mhm.
2021 will be the year of us
Yes.
nurses, because
Yes.
it's about
Yeah.
time.
Fingers crossed. Definitely.
Yes. And also in the news here in the Philippines, I saw the Prime Minister of UK is thanking a lot of. Uh, he said in an interview that one of the nurses who helped him was a Filipino. So it was a headline here in the Philippines. So
Yeah.
Filipino nurse was the nurse of
Uh,
Was the savior.
the
yeah.
savior.
Well, we take pride in what we do, I suppose. But my thing with this, why we actually pushed for recognition of Filipino nurses here in the UK, it's just because we are sort of like, I'll just give a sort of a movie reference. Okay,
Mm.
think of a ninja
Yeah.
of a ninja in movies.
Mhm.
They're always portrayed as they're very skilled, highly skilled, but you
Mhm.
don't see them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's us. That's exactly what Filipino nurses are. We're
Mm.
very good in what we do, but we tend to just
Yes.
hide in the shadows.
Mm.
If we
Yes.
can just say, "Oh, we're all right with that,"
Yeah.
if it's gonna be like something of a difficult task to do, and we
Yeah.
know we
It's
could do
just.
it, we just say, "Yeah, we'll do it," and we just do it so quietly that nobody even notices us.
No
So that's
fanfare.
why,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Mm.
why I mean, talking about films, there has been a lot of films about that. Like there was one maybe about 10 years ago, The
Mm.
Caregiver. This was
Yes, the caregiver.
yes, The Caregiver is in the UK setting, and back
Mm.
then there were a lot of not even nurses. These are some of them would have been professional nurses in the Philippines trying their
And,
luck in the UK, and
yes.
they're in the caregiving sector. That's a
Yes.
good film to see,
All right.
just to see what how it is for Filipinos to
Yes.
be here in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen quite a lot of Filipino films, but not that one. I'm afraid. I'm not
Yeah,
familiar with
don't
that one.
worry.
I'll look into that one.
That's a nice
Uh,
film, actually, Adam. Caregiver.
Because,
That,
as I've said in a previous episode, George,
yes.
most of the ones I've seen have been the action movies and the comic book movies like Dana and things like that.
Darna.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We have our own version of everything from
Yeah.
Superman to Wonder Woman. I'm not too sure how we fared with Batman, but I think, yeah, I'm quite sure we have some sort of version of it.
Uh, but we have our James Bond version.
Oh, yes,
It-
yeah. We have
I
all
didn't
of
know that.
we have
I'll look into that as
our
well.
look for Weng Weng.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Let me write that
Look,
down.
look
yeah.
for Weng Weng.
WENG. Yeah,
In the
Gee,
will.
yeah.
yeah.
That would be a surprise. Well, I wouldn't want to spoil it for you, Adam.
Yes.
Right.
Look it
You're
up on
gonna
YouTube. You'll be like, "What?"
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Yeah. Look at
I'm sure
Weng
it
Weng.
can't be. I'm sure it can't be worse than. I'm trying to think which is the worst James Bond film. Well, most people would say Die Another Day, but personally, my least favorite was For Your Eyes Only. I just thought that was dull.
No, no.
It might have. I don't know if that can compare. That's what I'll
Yeah.
say. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
this
So
might be. Yeah, we're
uh,
comparing. Um,
this is a comedy.
this would be
Right.
very hard to compare, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it's and also Agent X44. So that's our James Bond here.
I'm just
Agent
dropping.
X44.
But I'd still go
Oh,
for Wang Wang.
right.
I'd still go for Wang Wang.
Weng Weng is more popular for Westerners because I don't know why he's very popular. And I was in the US. A classmate of mine approached me. Hey, you're a Filipino. Oh yes. Do you know Weng Weng? I go, how did you know Weng Weng? I saw Weng Weng in the movie of Weng Weng. I said, you like it? Yeah, I love it. I said, wow. I was surprised. I said, wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a nice movie also. He's, and also, yeah. Speaking of caregivers, you know, on even in the U.S., there's a lot of caregivers and nurses in the U.S. So sometimes they are surprised that me as a Filipino, I'm studying as a filmmaker in the U.S. So people always asking me at first, "Are you a nurse here, or are you in a medical?" No, I'm a filmmaker. I'm studying to be a filmmaker. So there's a stereotype already that if you're a Filipino, you're either a nurse or a caregiver. So
that's true.
yeah, yeah, that's why I'm very happy also with our Filipino nurses. I'm very proud of them. They're all fighting, even in the U.S. A lot of my cousin is a nurse in the U.S., in New York, in California, in Texas. So those are hotspots of the pandemic. So yeah, I'm even in UK. At one point, it was a hotspot. So yeah, it's very. I'm proud of them. Here, even here in the Philippines, actually we had a ban here in the Philippines.
Hmm.
The government isn't allowing Filipino nurses to go out of
Yeah.
the Philippines because of what they call this. It's scarce. They're scared of losing a lot of nurses here in the Philippines. So yeah, that's one of the topic that George was talking also
Yeah.
In your last show.
symposium. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very this the nurses, the profession, they're really badly need all over the world because
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's few of them. So and they're very highly skilled. And I think the advantage of Filipinos are, Sir George, correct me if I'm wrong. The reason that a lot of foreigners or a lot of countries are choosing Filipinos as a nurse is we are more caring, they said.
Well,
And
I wouldn't want to, impose on that, but I'd say, uh, I might get kicked out here, but but what I just want to say is that yes, I guess the skills are there always. Filipinos that come out that start from the Philippines and then end up in another country. There's always that. Commitment to work, hardworking, compassionate. Those are the common descriptions that you'd hear. And I was going back again to what I said earlier, and that's just true because there's no surprise. Like I said, 25% of the world's nurses Filipinos. So that thing speaks for itself. Yeah, but I guess it's also a way for us or because obviously Philippines, it's not always easy for everybody, and so a career in nursing is always something that we look into to improve our lives, I suppose. So yeah, and just touching on the healthcare workers ban, just to let you know, that ban has been lifted now, although there's still a cap. There's about, I think the new rules now is that only 5,000 healthcare workers are allowed to leave the Philippines every year. It's not yet complete, but it's a good, I'd say, compromise for both the
Yes.
government and for the healthcare workers wanting to work abroad, I suppose.
Yes, because Adam, yeah, to give you a background also, the salary of the nurses outside of the Philippines is, I think, 3 times or 4 times larger than if you're a nurse working here in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, I
So,
get you because yeah,
so
the currency exchange is
yes,
massive. Yeah,
yeah,
I know what you mean.
yes, and also it's very. They have the same what do you call this? What can I? They are more. The facilities outside of the Philippines is more. It's much better
It's better, right?
than here. I'm not saying everything here in the Philippines is not that, but a lot of things are much better outside of the
Are you
country.
saying there's like more in abundance or something? Like there's a lot more
Uh,
to offer?
it's a lot to
Um,
offer outside. I don't think
Okay.
it's. Mm.
Yeah, in some respects, I suppose that's true. Yes, the thing is though, if you want, top of the line, there are top of the line healthcare facilities in the Philippines. I
Yes,
actually
yes.
work in one of the best hospitals in the Philippines that rank in the world. The
Mm.
problem is, no ordinary Filipino can afford that.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
the thing,
Yes.
because the discrepancy of the rich and the poor
Mm.
is
It's
massive in the Philippines.
Okay, right.
yes.
Unlike here in the NHS, you could,
Yes.
like, I'll give you an example, perfect example. Uh, if we have to call 999 here in the UK for an ambulance, that's free. Nobody
Yeah.
will ask you, what's your credit card number or do you have cash in
Yes.
hand. In the
Yes.
Philippines, you have to pay.
Mm.
If you want the top of the line ambulance, yes, there might be ambulances that might be provided by the government or the local small government units,
Yeah.
but they won't have the necessities. Not all of them would have an oxygen, or maybe you have
Uh,
to do the bag manually. So you see what I mean. So there it is there, but so in respect to, well, looking into the nurses of the Philippines,
Mm.
there's also that discrepancy. Some might be quite paid well, quite, I
Mm.
wouldn't say, and some might be really just scratching nothing.
right.
Yeah.
And to study in the Philippines for nursing, it's not cheap,
It's yes.
and there's not always a facility to, to have student loans. I
Mm.
know the
Mm.
UK would support you with student loans.
Yeah.
There's
No,
very, very,
None at
very,
all.
very few. Yeah,
All right.
almost none at all.
we don't have
What about
student.
scholarships at least?
Yes.
We have
Well,
scholarship.
here's the thing. Not everybody excels well in school when they,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Because the Philippines, I'd say, would still be a bit more traditional.
Mm.
You want to look at good grades. You excel in math, in English, and
Yeah.
everything.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
even have religion classes that you have to excel on. Otherwise,
Yes.
that puts down your average,
Right.
and you
Yes.
don't get into the honors list.
True.
So you
True.
have to
True.
be a sort of a theologian or
Grade
something.
grade A student.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of variables here in the Philippines.
So it's very hard. So there
it's
you go.
very it's very hard. So yeah. So Kuya Manong George, is it hard for you since you've been there in the UK for 10 years? How hard was it for you since in that time our technology is still
Ah,
not that
Still in
we don't
development.
have yeah
yes,
we still don't have FaceTime at that time. So
yeah.
how did you cope up with that?
So yes, I guess when I first arrived here in 2009, it was sort of a transition phase with regards to communication technologies.
Mm.
We there. I think Skype was still new then, but the bandwidth does not support the Skype
Yes.
calling.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, So I got a bit lucky. I didn't really write a lot of letters then,
Yes, yes, yes.
but I did write a few letters. But call cards was the key.
Yeah,
Maybe
I remember call cards.
that was very popular among the Filipino community. You'd have
Mm.
call cards. You buy that for £5. The initial was, I'm trying to remember, that was like for 20 minutes for £5.
Right.
And it depends. I also remember when you know, technology started coming on, and we had Skype. I remember telling my wife, "Oh, I have to go out," and this was about maybe 3 p.m. in the afternoon in the UK, and she got really bloody mad at me, and she was saying, "Why would you have to go out? We're still talking." I said, "But there's the sun." She said, "What? I don't care about the sun." She said, "Yeah," because obviously her context was in the Philippines, because Philippines a tropical country. You got sun
Yes,
like
yes,
12
Yeah.
hours in a day.
yes.
In the UK, sometimes
We
you
hardly
don't
ever
get
have the
yeah,
sun.
exactly. So we were out because I remember we had a really bad summer then. It was quite raining. So this was autumn time. I was really dying to go out, but she was telling me she got in a real bloody fit. She was on my case, and I just couldn't explain it to her. But maybe 4 years fast forward, she's been
Mhm,
here in the UK. She's been here for like 7 years now, and she's
mhm,
telling me now, you know what, I understand what you mean. Especially at this time, because it's what it's November time, autumn's here, we're
yes.
transitioning to winter. Yes. What's the
Mhm.
time now? 1 o'clock. We just have about 2 o'clock, 2 hours of sun. That's it,
Ah,
if
two
we're
hours of
lucky.
that?
Yeah, it's
Really?
Well, yeah, because it's cloudy the whole day.
Oh, okay. It's UK is cloudy
Gray,
all day.
yeah, gray.
that's the stereotype for British weather. It's always
Yeah.
raining.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
So
Uh,
now it's colder now.
yeah.
It's always cold.
So
So you see, Adam, in the Philippines, it's normal for us to have an umbrella, to use
mm,
a brolly, an umbrella for the sun.
To keep the
for
sun
the
out,
sun.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you see that here, if if you come out of the of your house and you're wearing an umbrella for the sunshine, people will
Yes.
look at you. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
That's it.
So
Yeah, because usually we would just use like a baseball cap or something
Exactly.
to keep the sun out of our face or whatever.
Yeah.
Or sunglasses.
Exactly.
So, how was your transition, George? Because we
Yeah.
were from a tropical country. Now we are in a cold country. Are
Yeah.
you? Because I know when I was in San Francisco, it was so cold for me, and I'm used to wearing just t-shirts, going out, going to meetings, going and everywhere. I'm just using t-shirt. But when I was in San Francisco, I need to wear a jacket. So,
Yeah.
how was your experience in
Well,
George?
with regards to the weather in particular, I think back in 2009, it was my very first time to see snow. So I'll go to the extreme. Yeah, all right. So snow is so great when you, because I remember
Yes.
2009, there was a really big big snowstorms in the UK. I
Yes.
made my very first snow angel and my very first snowman, and it was all good. And so I got a lot of messages on Facebook and friends and family telling me, "Oh, how do you find it?" But it was all going on so great. But then I realized after 2 to 3 weeks, snow is just good to look at in the
Yep.
first two to
First
three
time.
weeks, and then you hate it. Especially for me, I used to work in an orthopedic unit. A lot of our patients are coming in with fractured hips, and that's because of the snow
From
and
falling
because of
over the
exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
As you know, the snow here in the UK, it's not like proper snow that we Filipinos would take, like maybe it's like somewhere in
Snow.
Alaska,
Yes.
where
Mm.
it will be knee deep. The
Yeah.
snow here in the UK is just about this thick,
Yep.
if
And
you're
Oh,
lucky.
okay.
it's usually just like mushy, sloppy, and
Yes.
slippery. In
So think
fact,
of the ice shavings on your
yeah.
freezer. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. That's it.
It's not fun.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
like snow at all. And like you said, I prefer just to look at it if I'm
mm,
inside the house, and I don't like driving in it. In fact, I'm a pretty good driver. I have never crashed my car except one time because I skidded on some ice and
There you go.
I buckled the wheel because I'd lost
oh.
control of the car. But I didn't hurt anybody and I didn't hurt myself. But yeah,
Oh.
because of snow and ice, I got a car crash.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey,
It's
yeah.
terrible though.
Also, me and I experienced snow when I was in New York, and there it was a polar vortex at that time. So
Yeah.
I'm so excited. But my cousin, I was invited by my cousin to be there in Christmas and the holidays. Said, "You come here in my house, so you can stay here." So I was excited. Oh, it's gonna be a polar vortex, but all of them are panicking, panic buying. Said, "Oh, it's just snow." Then when the storm came, oh, it's snowing. I was so happy. Then
Yeah, I
after
know. It's so magical. Yes.
Naive.
Yes.
yeah,
Exactly.
2 to 3 days, I said, "Oh, I want to go back to California. I hate snow now."
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, so that's how, yeah, and then for us nurses, I guess it was kind of different because we back then I worked 11-hour shifts, so I start my journey to work maybe 6 in the morning, so it was still dark, maybe 7, you'd still have to be there, but then you go home at around 7 in the evening, 8 in the evening, literally you won't see any sunlight. It's
Okay.
dark. It's dark when you left. It's dark when you come back home. So part of the struggles, I suppose, for me and
Mhm.
a lot of Filipino nurses is the adjustment to the cold and to the weather. But
Yes.
yeah, but I think community makes a lot of difference, and that's why for me that is very important.
Mm.
Yeah. So, George, how large is our Filipino community now? There, it's
Oh wow,
very.
that's a good question. I think there's about 200 to 300,000 Filipinos in the UK. I think, give or take. Yeah,
Wow.
and the Filipino nurses in the NHS alone is
Mm.
around 40,000. I think, I believe.
Wow.
Wow.
40,000.
Yeah,
Oh.
in
Because
the
I
just
was.
in the NHS, not even touching on the private sector. Yeah.
Wow. I was telling Adam also to try Jollibee in London. And when
Yeah.
we were looking at Google Maps,
Yeah.
besides Jollibee, there's a lot of Filipino
Yeah,
restaurants
yeah,
or grocery
definitely.
there.
Drop me a message, Adam. I
Yeah.
can point you towards what
If I
I think
remember,
are
if I
good
remember
ones.
rightly, they're all roughly in the same area. I think it's like Earl's Court. It's in that
Earl's
sort of
Court,
area.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I can give you the
Mm.
names of what I think would be authentic, and those there would be some who would actually, because obviously our taste can be a bit of a surprise for the Western palate.
Yeah.
So I could
Yes.
No.
ease you in
No,
to,
I
to
like all kinds of foreign foods, and I've enjoyed the Filipino foods that I've had, like in the past when I
Mm,
went to the Philippines, for example. But
Yes.
funny enough, I didn't actually go to Jollibee when I was there. Just the people I was with, they just I don't know why.
Don't
Maybe they
like.
were just taking me elsewhere. They didn't say. I forgot to ask about Jollibee. I don't even know
Yeah.
if I knew about it at the time. I could be wrong. It's a long time ago. I've forgotten a
Yes.
lot. But no, I do like Filipino food, so I'm up for it.
Yeah.
sure, sure.
Yeah. He went to Taal Volcano, George, before
Yeah,
Oh,
before it
right, yeah,
erupted. So yeah.
yeah. You probably did you go to the volcano or is it
yeah. I
like that? Oh
walked along the
wow,
crater. Yeah, we took the canoe to go across
yeah,
the lake and walked around the crater. Yeah,
yeah. For something so small, it had a very powerful eruption at
Well,
the
mm.
yes.
in the first quarter of the year. That was
Yes. That's why I'm telling Adam also this year is not a good year for us. January there was an
The
earthquake,
eruption. Yeah.
an earthquake
Oh,
and
sorry, earthquake.
eruption. Same. Then also March was the start of the pandemic. We had the longest lockdown in the Philippines, and then the
Typhoon.
typhoon, 4 typhoons.
Mm.
Actually, we were doing a live stream, George, when the typhoon was
Yeah.
hitting. The wind is like I'm just being calm in front of the camera, but I can see the window like, oh, the wind
yeah,
is like.
definitely.
So yeah, I was telling Adam that there's a lot of things and I am happy with the Philippines' resilience of those disasters.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, have you encountered any problem there? joins
Here,
you? Mm.
yeah, I mean, I think the main thing that I could say that would have been difficult for me was always, the adjustment. And, because obviously it's true when people say there's no place like home, you know.
Okay.
So you have to build a new life here because I didn't have any, some people might have their cousins here or maybe their,
Mm.
an aunt or an uncle. I didn't have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever I came with, we were a batch of 23 nurses that they became my instant family.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so it took a while before I was able to bring in my wife. It took about 4 years. And yeah, and still, even with her and I being here, we had to build our own life because, again, there's not much support. You have to start from scratch to buy a
Mm-hmm.
house, even to buy a car, to buy a house,
Mm.
to raise a family. So, yes, there's always a struggle there. But the thing is, I also believe in what they say that you make home is where you make out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
True.
found that the UK now is my new home.
Mm-hmm.
The people here, I could say that I'm used to it now, and I also try to give back to my home because I believe that what I do for the Filipino UK nurses, I also, in fact, also help the UK society because most of its nurses from overseas are Filipinos.
Yes.
So if they're happy, then they could help the UK society as well. I've always just said Filipino nurses are we provide a positive impact in this country,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I'm just always aiming that we get recognized for it. So I guess that's where I put my just to answer. I'm getting a bit out of topic here now, but
Yes.
that's
It's
where
okay.
I put my energy to, I suppose,
Yeah.
Mm.
and doing something else. So yeah, that's how I survive.
Yeah, wow. Now, thank you so much,
Mm.
Sir George, for sharing your
Story.
story with us. And I know it's hard. It's hard. Also, with the
Adapting to
adapting to a new
adapting to the
country.
country, yeah. Because I was the same when I went to America. I had nobody, no family
Yeah,
was in
that's
America.
it.
I was completely on my own. So no,
Yes,
I know the feeling.
I know it's so hard, and but now you are helping a lot of people, a lot of even in the UK, people in the UK, you're helping a lot. So it's an admirable thing to
Oh,
do.
thank you.
So yeah, so yeah, can you give us can you share
Yeah,
your
where can people find you, and
Ah,
where can people find
yes.
yeah.
FilipinosUnited.com?
Right. So we have multiple. I mean, obviously, we've got Manong George. You can find that on Facebook. You can drop me a message if you have any questions about life in the UK as a Filipino nurse. I'm always willing to help. You can find our website www.filipinouknurse.com. So again, that's www.filipinouknurse.com. Very helpful articles there, and if you need any other services provided by our partners, they're there as well. Then we also have the other groups that I belong to. The Filipino Unite. Filipino Unite is a nonprofit group aimed to help Filipinos here in the UK, not only the nurses. And then for a professional Filipino nurse body, then I am also affiliated with PNA UK. So the website is mypnauk.org, and the website for Filipino Unite is www.filipinounite.com. Thank you.
Mm. I hope I can visit you there, George.
Oh,
And
sure.
George and Adam. I know I haven't been to the UK, and it's gonna be one of my dreams to go there.
We'll
Of
let you
course.
know
So,
if it's snowing, and
Yes, that's it.
then you can wait for a couple of weeks.
so yeah, and maybe you can help us if you have events there, George, and we can
To
glad
promote.
me
Yeah.
and Adam,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
we
of
can
course. Not
gladly
a
Mm.
problem. Yeah.
help help you. We can cover the event, or
Yeah.
maybe in the long run,
Yeah, sure.
once
I
one
appreciate the offer. Thank you.
once the
You're welcome.
lockdown is gone.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah, thank you, and hope you enjoyed
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I had fun.
our
Thank
Our
you, guys.
show,
uh,
our time. Yeah.
and also what do you call it? Hope to see you again next time to join
Sure,
us
sure.
next time.
My wife wanted to present our Christmas tree. That's why I had that done
No.
yesterday. We had that done yesterday. So she wanted to make sure. I want to see my tree in your stream.
No, thank
Well,
you.
maybe we can get the tree to be a guest in the future.
Yeah, talking tree is always,
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you so much, Sir
Yeah,
George.
pleasure to have you.
oh,
Yes,
pleasure's all mine. Thank you very much, guys.
thank you.
Take care
Bye.
and good
Take
luck
care.
with everything.
Bye.
You too.
So, Adam, that was George.
Another great guest.
Yeah, it's a great guess, and it's unbearable thing to do, and he's helping out
Mm.
the community in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like what I said before, Filipinos are close-knit, and
Mm.
yeah, he will help you find Jollibee.
I look forward to it. Yes.
So yeah, so uh, what do you call this? Who's our? You said
Our next guest. Yeah.
our next guest.
Yeah. Because I think how many guests have we had so far? We've had 6, 7, 5 guests now,
Yeah, yeah.
and they've all been people that you've brought in. But next week it's going to be my turn. I'm going to be bringing
Yeah.
in a guest. I'll be bringing in a guy called Alex Baez, who was my roommate when I was studying in San Francisco. We were at the same university, but he was studying illustration, and now he works. He lives in Idaho now, but he
Oh.
works as a freelance illustrator, and we've worked together on a few film projects, doing concept art and things like that. So, and I talk to him almost every week, pretty much every week. We're pretty close. Because even though obviously it's only inevitable when you go to school with people, it's only inevitable that people will drift apart and you don't speak to them so often anymore.
Yes,
But
yes.
Alex is one of 3 people that I
You-
studied with that I still talk to, and yeah, he's the first guest lined up, and he's up for it. He's looking forward to it. So
I'm excited to. So
Uh,
we're
he might be sharing the same problem as you, Rav, which is that he has a child as well. So his daughter might be running around screaming or something. Who knows? Because I heard your son screaming earlier.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it wasn't distracting. I just naturally heard it. Yeah, but that will never happen with me. As I've said before, I don't have kids. I don't want kids. No, I'd be a terrible father.
Are we doing the same time or are we?
It will be like last week with Jack. It will be an hour later, so it will be 9:30 p.m. for Filipinos, and it will be 1:30 p.m. in the UK, which will be 6:30 a.m. in Idaho.
Yes.
So
So watch out.
he'll be awake by then. Don't worry.
It's gonna be our. It's gonna be our 8th episode, so it's
Yes.
gonna be. We're going back to 9:30 p.m. for that week, and this is gonna be a trend. So
Because he'll be on the west coast of
Yeah.
America. So
because our guests sometimes are from a different time zone, so we need to change our
to accommodate their schedule as well, because otherwise they'll be half asleep. I mean, I feel bad for one because he did it at like 4:30 a.m. wasn't it? It was really early for him.
Is it 4:30 a.m.?
But it might have been 5:30.
Yeah,
Because I think daylight savings might not have kicked in at that point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, I know, I remember.
But I'm not too sure.
So yeah,
it's crazy trying to schedule that's the great thing about technology. We can connect everyone in the world, but we can't change the clocks.
yes.
We can't position the sun to get everyone some decent sunlight.
Yeah, so yeah, like me, you can see I have lights because it's already 9 p.m. here in the Philippines. So yeah, hope you have enjoyed our episodes.
Latest stream, yes. We'll keep doing them. There's no stopping us. So continue to watch us, like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave comments in the stream.
Yes, and give us if you want to
ask us questions on the air, whatever. Just do anything, yeah.
And also, if you have suggestions, if you want to guess a certain someone or a topic we want to discuss, we will gladly do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
thank you for watching us.
Thank you for watching. Good night and good afternoon and good morning. Bye.
Yes. Take care.
Take care.